Back to the 2v2 matches here with Europe's Yellow Pete, and Edward eliminated. The field is down to 4 teams. North America's Doublelift and Xpecial, the Garena All-Stars Chowie and Mistake, OGN's Prey and Mad Life, and China's Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao. Which of these 4 duos do you guys think have the best chance to win the 2v2 skills competition?
This one is just so incredibly hard to call, but the big thing we have to keep in mind as well is even though it's 2v2s, none of these guys have actually played together for more than just the All-Star Game practice. We never got an AD carrying support from the exact same team voted in. So a lot of it's just going to match down to who plays some of the offbeat champions. You don't necessarily have a support who's practiced Annie, but if you're a really good Annie or a really good Kennen, that's going to be great to bring out in a 2v2 situation.
Yeah, and what we saw already from the first game, if you guys haven't checked it out, I think it's going to be on lolesports.com, maybe today, maybe it already is on there, I'm not too sure, but it was 2 Blitzcranks. Edward and Mad Life, Zhao Zhao, sorry, going with the Blitzcranks. This time it could be Zhao Zhao and Mad Life with the Blitzcranks. I'm that excited about it. I'm starting to mess my words up. But Annie was used by Wei Zhao. Annie played AD Annie. That's crazy.
And just the fact that we could get mirror Blitzcranks, we could get 2 Shens in one game,
yeah,
it would be absolutely insane.
The chat would go wild.
It might be a little crazy, but I just really want to see how these teams start attacking the 2v2 matchup because anything could happen.
And of course, the 4 remaining 2v2 teams all have one thing in common. They've never played together before this weekend. And while developing a new relationship can be a lot of work, it can also be a lot of fun when it's time to start blasting away.
So AD carry, they're the glass cannon of the team. And my job as a supporter is to load up the cannonballs onto the cannon.
这次我和微笑的配合的话，就是我会就蛮大的期望嘛，就是也挺开心的，因为现在微笑也是在中国也是公认中国第一 ADC， 然后在世界上的名气也非常大，就是因为我也认可他的实力非常强，所以应该是蛮开心的。
사실 메라 형이랑 듀오가 처음이고 제가 프로가 아니었을 때 메라 형이랑 좀 많이 하고 싶어 했고 이번에 많이 연습을 몇 번 해봤는데 정말 잘하시기 때문에 우시타전이 많이 기대됩니다.
So none of the other bottom lanes here are from the same team either, so it's pretty much going to be interesting to see for all of them how well they blend together.
就是我比较喜欢玩凶狠一点，就是在链上比较凶，那 Mistake 就会跟我一起打，所以我们会打得不错。
Sometimes I speak Russian a little bit.
Not that I understand it or anything.
Xpecial's really good. He's really experienced. I feel like our bot lane is probably the strongest in All-Stars.
이번 올스타전 많이 기대돼요.
You know, it's amazing to see. We're at the All-Stars tournament, but there's still, like, Prey. He's like, I've always wanted to play with Mad Life. He is an all-star in my eyes. These guys still look up to these players so much, but now playing alongside them.
And meanwhile, Mad Life is just kind of staring into the camera. It's like, yeah, he was impressed by my skill.
Some big, bold words by Doublelift at the end there saying, yeah, we got the strongest bot lane of all of the teams here.
Bold claims by Doublelift.
Nothing new. Nothing new there.
We'll see if they can load the cannonballs on and fire away when the matches come to time. Now let's take a look at our first 2v2 competitors. Starting on the blue side, representing the North American LCS All-Stars, from Counterlogic Gaming, it's Doublelift at AD carry. And from Team Solo Mid, at support, we have Xpecial.
And on the red side, representing the Garena All-Stars, it's the Singapore Sentinels Chowie at AD carry. And on support, from the Azubu Snipers, Mistake.
All right, the All-Star teams are just about ready to jump into Champions Select, so that means it's time for you guys to make your final predictions.
At least for this match, if you're basing it off what Doublelift said, then you have to go with North America. Just if they have the strongest
lane.
Then
ever.
They're in.
But that's a pretty bold claim right there. I mean, in itself, that yes, don't get me wrong, Doublelift is really one of the key players of CLG, and I can understand he's alongside Xpecial. Xpecial from TSM, they just won the league. Or effectively won the spring split.
Right.
Let's not get carried away yet, guys.
And that was also with Xpecial having to swap really streams of AD carries he was playing with mid-season. So we only had a couple weeks to gel with Wild Turtle. And first week they got a Pentakill with him in support. So he's obviously able to adapt to new players. And Doublelift of any of the AD carries in North America could be one of the strongest ones for him to adapt to.
Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking, Riv? What are we seeing from this one? Because this is effectively the first time that you guys at home are also going to see this. Because, you know, it's the first time for us really casting it. We've done it before, but never with this many people here in attendance, because this is going to be pretty crazy.
I'm stoked. We're kind of in the learning experience too. This is the magma chamber. We haven't been doing 1v1s on these, so we're about to learn with these guys how hard it is to go in, what the mentality is. We heard Freak talking to Dyrus. What do you do going in? And Dyrus kind of knew that he made a mistake in the beginning. You know, there's no backing, there's no this. I should have played it differently. So these guys are also still learning.
a lot of these guys just like to run back to the base,
right.
which is one of the reasons Kennen's actually so strong, because the Lightning Rush creates so much distance between the base.
And banned.
And it's probably a smart ban. Oh, man.
I mean, these are obvious bans. So from the little we've seen of this, is generally the AD carriers that tend to get targeted, especially the Dravens. Anything that's really strong at the start of the game, because you can get an easy level 1 kill of these guys.
Yeah, level 2, level 3 kills we saw a lot of yesterday. When we check out some of the VODs that are online, we saw, I mean,
if that's not targeted at yesterday, I don't know what it is. Blitzcrank, Kennen, and Annie were all used yesterday.
Yep.
And remember, the guys, these are blind picking. They can't see what each other done. They know what they've banned. They can't see what is coming out. It does surprise me that Varus actually snuck through, but he's gone for Thresh.
Thresh is locked.
That's the first lock-in, right? I really want to see.
We're waiting.
I really want to see this Heimerdinger actually get locked in. What would you do against a Heimerdinger?
It's so strong in a 2v2 because there's, you don't need to worry about a jungler coming down at you. You just need to think, I'm just going to poke you with rockets. It's going to be really annoying.
And it's obviously blind pick too, so these guys can't see what they're going against. But if you were to pick like a Darius Thresh into a Heimerdinger, you wouldn't be able to outrange the rockets in any situation.
Oh, Siva's been locked.
Aw, man.
Ah, Siva Lulu. So that's actually fairly standard partnership.
Press our comps.
We did see Lulu before, though, and technically in the test games we had with the North American scene, Lulu was one of the strongest in there.
Lulu was real strong, but look at this. Like someone said, totally normal lanes.
Totally normal lanes.
And they don't have to, right? We came in here saying this. It could be anything. It could be Bruiser. It could be a crowd control lockdown, but they have gone to regular.
Yeah, so, I mean, what are you thinking? If you could go 2v2, any champion out there, 2 guys, it could be Annie Brand, which we've seen working in that bottom lane.
Bring the heat to the magma chamber.
Exactly, Rip. I was setting you up nicely for that one there.
Good one, Riv.
Didn't have it. Freak would be proud.
But what would you think? I mean, what would you go with something that's just crazy strong from level 1, or just something that you're gonna hang on? I always had level 6. I mean, level 6 is a long stretch in a straight 2v2 when only 2 kills need to be made or 100 CS.
I always had in the back of my mind that the extra passive champions would be a way to play it. The Anivia, the Zac, to be able to come back after they've used all of that hard aggression. But we'll see as we all
we're gonna get to see right away. I wonder if they're actually gonna be able to use this brush here, because it's so far off onto the side of these lanes that, you know, Thresh does have the catch potential in these ones, but it's going to be so hard to actually create any kind of kills.
So this is the first time you guys at home have seen the Magma Chamber, and as you can see, it's a pretty short map, as you would expect. It's a setup for a straight dueling map. It's actually quicker to walk back to base than it is to back off. You can see, obviously, the North American team, they're trying to set up a little surprise here. It's not really working out.
Surprise creeps! His auto attack. Oh, man. Doran's start is actually kind of interesting, though, considering there's a Crystalline Flask on Mistake. So any Erastic special double take, they're going to have to run back in base and go heal that stuff up.
And this is something that we actually heard of yesterday from the matches that happened. Edward, they were trying to keep the pressure on, but you could see the clever people. Oh, see, he's backing. He hasn't tested it. He can run back quicker, but maybe he's trying to bait them.
Yeah, is he really backing?
Bait the hook.
One of those recall baits. There's not much to do in between the creep waves, it seems.
Already popping the flask as well on Mistake, so they're just trying to keep topped off as they keep going in. The back and forth only, but we have to remember the CS count in this as well. Oh, wow, little aggression there. That's going to make these guys have to play back.
Chawi might be trying to bait something here, because if we look at the summoner spells too, it's a whole bunch of barriers and heals. Nice Hawkfire special!
Oh, there it is, Mistake. He's got 2 blights on him. Can they get the piercing arrow? Waiting for the exhaust. The first kill comes in. Oh, it's going to be 2 right away. One last shot. Oh, the North American LCSC takes it.
And just like that, Double Lift said it himself, the strongest partnership. Well, he's happy with that, and that really worked very well for them.
Oh my gosh. He's like, did that just, are we done?
It's over. Is it actually over, guys?
Is that easy?
That easy? Come on.
They are in the final now. They are in the final, North America.
You look at the matchup right away. Aggression versus we have to wait till we get that damage, and they used it off the bat.
That game was 1 minute and 47 seconds.
And this is why I was surprised that Varus got through, because that was one of the #1 bans we saw. Because it's so strong, early level 1. It's insane. The hail of arrows, and then like you said, you got to get that long range arrow. Once you hit level 2, you are going to get sniped.
And they were bringing, I think, double ignite with 1 exhaust and 1 barrier versus like heals and barriers. And they just blew right through the heals and barriers. That kind of answers your question, what do you go for early game? Obviously North America, with the double Dorans especially too, because when they went into the straight up fight, they just had more combat effectiveness.
And it was that flay at the start, the flay from Thresh.
Oh my gosh.
Set that up, no problem.
So much damage. And we thought it was a bait, right? We saw Chawi walk back, and then it was kind of like, oh dear, wait, this is going a little more awry. And great play coming in from Double Lift as well. He walked off the exhaust and then fired that piercing arrow.
That was rather fast, I have to say. Like, we're not sure what to expect. That was obviously nonstop action right from the start. I think we're going to see a couple slower ones, but...
Well, I mean, just going off really what happened in the play-ins, some of them actually did hit level 6. There was ultimates getting used in there, but we've also seen some, and as you guys at home have maybe seen from the best Ribbon NA, I mean, Cutie Pie going in before the minions even spawn.
Yeah, and the next one is going to be, since that was NA,
it's going to be, it's Mad Life and Prey now versus Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao. It's a scary matchup next.
I don't even know what's going to happen. We saw the standard things. I don't think we're going to see standard picks from the next guys.
No, I don't think so, because we've already seen Blitzcrank and Annie coming out from Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao, so, which is why we saw banned straight away there by North America, actually. So they may be going to cook up something new here for this one. And, you know, I was talking about at the start, what do you go for? Do you go for something that can sit back, bit of poke, maybe a Jace, maybe in there, something like that? You know, get to level 2, those acceleration shock blasts are going to hurt.
Yeah, because another way you can actually win is at 100 minion kills.
Yeah.
You had about 3 in the last game. It's going right off the bat. But I feel like that would be a pretty good way to go in if you went super passive. You brought like the heal barrier that we saw from what the Garena All-Stars tried to do and just did get all in at level 1 or 2.
So what level did we even have coming in there? What level were they?
They were level 2, I think.
So Spell Shield wasn't even effective for a Sivir choice.
No. I don't think he would have even skilled it up at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our second 2v2 semi-final skill competition matchup. Let's meet the players. So, on the blue side, it is going to be representing the Chinese LPL All-Stars, of course. It is Wei Zhao at AD carry from Team WE, and at support, it is IG's Zhao Zhao.
And on the red side, representing the Korean OGN champions, it's Najin Sword's Prey at AD carry, and at support from CJ Entis Frost, it's Mad Life.
So, coming into this matchup, the 2v2 lane, who do you think is going to have the advantage? I mean, you already think that Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao have already played this, so maybe the advantage, they've beaten Edward and Yellow Pete, it's got to be with them.
They've definitely practiced it. I'd say that would be the initial advantage, but that doesn't necessarily take into account what people like they call the god, Mad Life.
Mad Life.
On this map. 80% of the All-Star vote in Korea. He could always swing it.
You've got to take Blitz and Thresh away from him, surely, because that's scary.
I feel like it's gone.
Yeah.
How is it, though, because Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao both saying they were kind of on that same level, with Prey almost maybe taking commands during the 1v1 for Mad Life. How do you think that would work out?
It could go a couple of ways, obviously. Because if he's too passive with Mad Life, then they're not going to be able to make the decisions at the same time.
Right.
You really do have to be on the same page with kind of like one guy calling the shots. So if it's in a relationship like that, I'd say it would be good for Prey and Mad Life. But if he's just kind of a puppy dog following Mad Life around, it's not going to work at all.
Not going to work as well.
What if you went with like a cheese? So you could go double support, you could go double AD, or you could go double AP. Or just, I mean, you're not going to go bruises because you're not going to be able to go all in. Really,
probably not.
You wouldn't have thought
Probably
so.
not.
But double support, you think like a Soraka and some other really annoying. So the Soraka Sona, that's actually pretty good poke and sustain.
Yeah, when we were talking about this yesterday, I was saying I want to see like a Sona Lulu.
Yeah.
If I was playing this map, that's kind of what I would just try to go with straight off the bat. Just heal up, be a jerk,
Continues
stay
to poke
range,
all day.
Clear the waves, and if they don't kill you, you just win by minion kills because you shove it to their tower constantly.
And you got to consider that ridiculous range on the short map, super short.
And the lane is really short too.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of the players have been talking about.
Well, from that point of view, you could also say Orianna Ari, land that charm, you know, get the burst down quick, and you could pop someone fast.
Or was that Orianna Ari?
Yeah, something like crazy like that. I'm not too sure. I
Yeah,
mean, Ari, I'm
just trying to
thinking
think.
just because of the charm, and obviously, if you land that at level 1, you pull that at level 1, that's probably someone dead if you've got something strong to back it up.
Yeah, any time of just catch to try to kill them.
Right.
So Ari's charm, obviously Blitzcrank, Thresh. Leona's going all in if you try to go with something like that. Annie obviously has a stun on command, so any type of those random skill shot champions.
We see a lot of shields as well. Any champion that can bring a shield to the table on top of the barrier you're having. You had the Thresh last time as well as the Lulu, so you throw the shield around if you need it.
Yeah, it's going to be a scary, scary thing, and well, it's going to be a scary matchup. You can see them setting up there. There is Mad Life on your screen with Prey in the background. Of course, Mad Life from CJ Entis Frost, Prey in Najin's Sword, and well, Frost are in the semi-finals again. They always seem to be there or thereabouts when the OGN Champions comes around. But on the other hand, you've got IG, top of the Chinese LPL, so you've got Zhao Zhao in there. That, you know, Wei Zhao playing alongside FZZF normally, but Zhao Zhao, is that an improvement? Is that a step down? I mean, IG won the league.
Yeah, I think it's a difference, really, for Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao, because Zhao Zhao and the rest of IG is way more aggressive team just generally by WE. Usually, like, Wei Zhao is an aggressive farmer, an aggressive harasser, but he's really just looking to get that 300 minion kills early on. That lane will be pretty interesting based on the difference of the teams that they're playing on. Super aggression and super passivity.
And something interesting we haven't really touched on either is, we did see Kennen banned out, but the energy to, to Fury, to whatever, to Rage, what resource do they have and what champions are they choosing in that sense?
Well, it didn't really matter in that last game because they didn't have time to run out of mana.
I don't think anybody ran out of mana. And that early flask was almost a tell that they were going to try to be aggressive right away, the use, because he was full health.
And as soon as they saw the flask, they just decided to go all in.
Hey.
Yeah.
But to get back to that OGN Champions thing, you got to say, Mad Life's been in every single OGN Champions final.
It
because
was in MIG,
Frost is just absolutely, or now CJ Entis, sorry. They've changed titles a few times. Totally consistent. So, I mean, sure, it's the All-Star game, and a lot of these guys, especially the Chinese guys, could have the nerves coming through to them.
Yeah.
But
this is a big crowd. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's some pretty impressive shots going around this crowd. I'm seeing some fancy lights going on in some of these
WE's
places.
over there.
IG and WE, that's definitely the supporters club up there. I don't think I've ever seen some little Dayglow signs like that. I don't see what they are that they're holding up, whether they're just straight neon or whether they're actually on like some sort of
little dot LEDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of them just say LOL, other ones say IG or WE. That is just...
I love being thrown around.
That is awesome.
That is the team section. 3 members of
North
WE
America, the gauntlet has been thrown down to you guys now. No more are just standard signs of good enough. And now suddenly WE is springing up all around the place. I'm seeing it taking up across the crowd. Crazy. I love this place. I love this place. I love these big stadium crowds we get at League of Legends. And you know when you've made it, when the big crowds are starting to make it like this, and see these players on stage is just fantastic. And you heard it when the Chinese team came out. They're going to be playing North America lately. And North America got a pretty good crowd cheer themselves.
They did.
But wow, that cheer for the Chinese team, you certainly know where you are.
Well, 8,000 people in the Shanghai Grand stage in the stadium here are just rooting for these teams. We saw the upper deck there, but it's going to be Prey and Mad Life now, or not, rather, coming in.
Yeah, and we know, at least sometimes in traditional sports, being with your home crowd and getting the energy behind you can be really a good thing to boost your team. And I wonder in esports now that we really have a big, full crowd here behind the Chinese team, whether that will be a hindrance or will it help them? Because sure, you can get the energy to fill it in, but how much does that actually help you execute precise movements within League of Legends?
Exactly.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's an adrenaline dump effectively. And how does that work? Controlling a mouse and a keyboard, you get an adrenaline dump. It gives you the shakes.
Yeah, sure, an adrenaline jump will let you jump, a couple inches higher, but was it going to let you land a skill shot?
When your hands like that and you're trying to move a mouse, it's going to get a little tricky.
We actually heard players previously when the crowd gets too loud, it does get under their skin. Another new atmosphere for them to be playing in here, but they're all stars. They're going to be able to pull this out.
Yeah, all of these guys have definitely played in front. I mean, we've seen the Chinese LPL stage. Those guys have a really nice studio. I'm sure they're used to playing in front of a crowd now. They're just finished week 10 of their season. We know the OGN champions, they've played in front of 8,000, 9,000 people before. So as amazing and epic as this is, I've never actually seen this dense of a population inside of one arena, but they should be used to it.
It's definitely warming up in here as well. I mean, Shanghai itself, it's pretty hot right now. We're in I don't even know what the season is because it's obviously very different from North America and Europe, the seasons that they have over in this side of the world. It's a different continent entirely, but it's definitely warm. It's definitely warm and humid. And these guys, well, it's going to be hot and sticky on that stage. Under them stage lights, under that pressure, I mean, you talked about it. Yeah, they've been in this situation, but they've never been in a straight-up 2v2. You've always had 3 of the members or 4 of the members that you can blame and go, yeah, I did my job, but that guy over there, I'm not sure
if only
about
we had
him.
some ganks, like clearly they were pushed to our turret
Where's the
whole
juggler
time.
when you need him?
And what to think after seeing a minute 47 2v2 go off. We would have thought these would be longer, but that absolutely out the gates because it's going to set these guys probably on their heels for the first bit, like you said.
I'm thinking this is going to be a little bit longer than the last one.
Yeah.
Bold claim.
Okay. Okay. Well, as we talked about, you can't let Blitzcrank and Thresh through, and well, Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao thought the exact same. They banned them straight out. Annie being taken out, that actually got took away from Wei Zhao, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, well, were they the ones that ran the
They ran AD Annie, yeah.
So they've definitely played that stuff before. They're still banning out some AD carries and supports. I wonder if they just think there's a little bit of cheese that they'd be able to run and then be going with more.
Well, Kennan's still in there.
I think they're trying to squeeze it out for one side here.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, it's as we talked about, they're not just limited to playing AD carries and supports. They can pull anything out
the
here.
table.
This is why it's actually so hard to predict, and it's just a little fun for you guys at home. It's fun for us as well.
But they are, focusing some of the AD carries out that would give you trouble. They could kind of be a pest as well. Short lanes, you don't want any invisibility.
Man, I wanted to see Twitch.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, that's Prey's main AD carry.
We actually haven't seen too much use of the bush in general.
Not at all.
Chamber yet, even in the play-ins.
Here's a setup. Victor and Ari.
That'll be good.
That'll be good.
I want to see Victor.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty big Victor fan.
Pretty big Victor fan.
I feel like because I managed to actually get the vector targeting working, it's like I have to play the Kennen now. Otherwise all that effort is wasted.
All that work.
Kennen is alive, but it could be a double Kennen.
Blind picks.
Blind picks here coming in.
We could have 2 Shens.
It's got to be 2 Kennens.
It could be.
That is aggression. Oh wow! I'm excited. I mean,
this is explosion coming in here from LPL.
Could we see the Blurgot lane coming?
Blurg.
That's possible.
Rocket out.
That's very strong early level as well.
Yeah.
Well, Zhao Zhao's thinking of sticking standard.
Zhao Zhao does play a lot.
OGN are thinking we are not going to start. I'd love to see a Master Yi out for striking like crazy. That'd be awesome. APE.
Because it really depends. Like, I don't think you need to worry about channeling all the farm into one guy because you're not really going to be building many items. I missed that, by the way.
The Aram Terra, that is. Oh,
yes.
Uh-oh, 2 Kennens.
The triple Xiao lane looking to lock in the Kennen and the Lulu. This would be actually huge. A lot of area effect from OGN, but it's more 6-oriented, so we'll have to see. They'll be playing the poke from the early game.
One's locked.
Yeah, so Kennen Lulu's locked.
Kennen Lulu.
That's real strong. Just early trades. Like it's just super early trades and auto attack you down.
That's long range poke as well.
Same thing would be on the other edge though. If we see OGN, like it's just slightly shorter range poke if we see MF, but better all in, I'd have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. A double up early game. Crushing health and the stun from Kennen. We actually saw, who was it that beat Dyrus just because of the stun from Kennen, being able to
that was level 1 Shy.
Silence. Yeah,
level
Shy.
2 rather. Level 2 they just
so
did,
ridiculous. Great play on Kennen.
He was too far forward on Soraka.
Yeah.
He was too far forward on Soraka. But, wow, it's 2 Kennens, ladies and gentlemen. There is a new Twitch chat handle right there. Sorry, guys. And Ezreal is going to be alongside the moderators right now are going to be like, what is going on?
You're just a jerk. But double Kennen, this could be the longer game. It's got to be.
This is going to be a longer game, yeah.
Because to get the 2 kills, especially when you have an Ezreal on one side.
So they're going to be starting Doran's Blades, I guess double Doran's Blades. We'll see what they're going to go with.
Yeah, it's probably going to really dictate what the game will be, or what the early game will be like. Maybe we can start basing predictions off the early game.
Absolutely, like a flash buy or whatnot. Yeah. They're staying back. Yeah, it didn't work too well last time, the flash buy, so I don't think they're going to go for that again. I'll actually say that.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do buy. You can see one's already come in.
Yep.
And, well, it is Ezreal that picked that up, so that's going to be Prey and Mad Life on Kennen.
Locking down the Dorans already, so really nobody trying to sustain right away. If the burst happens, they are going to be all in for the fight.
Yeah, I mean, with double Kennen, all-ins are just super risky in this one. Summoner spell-wise, they actually have mimic summoner spells. There's 2 barriers, 1 exhaust on each side and 1 ignite on each side. So, like,
yeah,
it's going to be tricky.
Well, Prey was pretty famous with his Ezreal before and famous for quoting, what's the difference between him and Woong, wasn't it?
That was an awesome quote.
Yeah. Diving around.
Yeah, we use our
Which direction you use the arcane shift. So we'll see how it works out for Prey in this one because, he doesn't want to be too aggressive, but those Qs, those Mystic shots, they're going to hurt.
Yeah, double Doran's Blade.
Yeah.
But a red elixir from Zhao Zhao, so probably a little bit more aggressive.
We'll have to see what they do. So, yeah, like you said, okay, there we go. This is the sustain from the pot, the blue, and the red elixir for Lulu. So we'll see if that works out. It's not going to be the shields for OG side. That poke. Big, so it looks like
going to run back.
Both ADs.
Yeah, he can do this. This is easy enough. There's nothing to stop him.
These guys having a great time here with the All-Star 2v2 tournament matchups. Zhao Zhao's going to try to just get CS for his side. You got to keep that up.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping him getting the CS either. He's not like particularly saving it like you normally would for your support. He's going all out. He's like, no, this is my CS. I want some of this because he's putting the pressure on Mad Life. But they're going to keep this. And like you said, I think this will go on a little bit longer than the last game.
Yeah, it's got to go on a little bit longer. We're going to look real dumb in about 35 seconds. It's going to be so long.
They keep landing on Wei Xiao. He keeps taking those skill shots. And this is actually something standard with AD carries. Skill shots, they don't tend to dodge. It's just like, my support will cover me. It's all good. I got this.
Eyes on from him. Actually, Lulu running quite a bit of AD, so getting as many pokes on as he can. 70 right off the bat for a support.
Oh, yeah.
is definitely going to be crushing down some HP.
And he drank that red elixir right off the bat.
Yep.
Like, he wasn't waiting for any type of bait. He just said, yeah, we're trying to get this lead off right now.
Yeah, making sure he doesn't get stunned up as well. They keep backing off to the turret. This is actually going to give the CS swing, of course, in OGN's favor. So you can see they're already at 10 CS to 6 CS. That is something they have to consider. It is not beyond the realms of possibilities that they could hit 100 CS first or even take the turret down.
Yeah, I hope we don't see a 100 CS victory.
No, I really do.
Ta-da! They won!
Yeah, woo! So
I wanna see some
anticlimactic. Anticlimactic indeed.
So still looks like just heading for the CS right now. Madlife getting a little aggressive here. They might try to act onto this. Wei Xiao putting himself forward a bit.
He's out of position. They could cut him off here. Wei Xiao could just come around. Whoa, both getting really low here. And it's going to be Madlife surely getting taken down by Xiao Xiao on Lulu. He's completely out of position. Uses the barrier. He's going to go down. There's first blood. Praise the last man standing.
Oh, man.
Wow, so that's one death down. Remember, they only need 2 kills. That's all they need. So they are both going to have to go back. And, well, Chinese LPL looking good here.
I mean, we said they've played one of these games before. That was definitely not a smart use of the brush there by Madlife. He really cut himself off from Salvation there when he went back. That's tough.
I think he was expecting Prey to back him up, and then you just saw Wei Xiao just go straight on aggression in Prey's face, so he just couldn't hold him back there. Very, very close, but they are still leading in CS, despite the fact they are 1 kill down. You can see it in the top of your screen, right in the middle. There is one death marker down, and we do see LPL backing off. Are they going to go for anything different here? They're just stacking out those pots. We do see a longsword being picked up by Prey, because obviously he had that CS advantage.
Yeah, and just to give you guys an update on what the scoreboard is actually reading, where you normally see the kills is actually the minion kills. So that's our ticker up to 100 if we're able to get there. And then the things below that are the 1 to 2 kills. When it hits 2, the game's obviously over.
Just trying to keep it even. Nobody's really pressured to a turret too much. OGN did get pressed back, but they kind of hold this one out. They have 1 kill to go. LPL has been able to find one.
And that was just... OGN looks real scary. Madlife and Prey probably want to start farming this one out. Like, they recognize they have a minion kill advantage right now and say, if we can at least hold this a little bit, then maybe we can come on top, because the all-in weren't necessarily working for them.
One big difference they're doing here, they are making sure it's Prey that gets fed. Madlife is not taking any CS right now. So that's 27 CS. So as long as Prey can just keep getting that fed and Madlife can stop dying, then it would be all right. They've still got a chance. They're not out of this yet, and it does look like they're going to go straight back and buy. They've pressured the lane again.
I think it's going to be real big for LPL with that Lulu 6, with what they could do in an all-in. We may see more red elixirs when that happens.
And you're absolutely right. LPL is really soaking down the red elixirs. Finally, Prey bought one on his own. I think they realize that they're really going to need that power if they ever get another all-in. Jaja's probably going back right now to pick up a second red elixir, because his has already ran out. Unless, there it is.
Yeah. Even on Prey's side, grabbed one up for himself as well to come back for lane.
So they are going to keep that pressure down. Of course, don't forget they can take the turret. Yeah, they push on. But we are already up to like 35 CS here. Ooh, they're trying to get that stun on Wei Xiao. I feel they'd have gone all in if they'd caught it.
There's one locked. He gets the 2, looking for that W.
Wei Xiao's cannon skills coming in pretty good with all those skill shots. He's got 2 points in. So Wei Xiao, I'm trying to figure out what the cannon's been doing. He's got 2 points in his Q, whereas Madlife does as well. So these guys are going Q max, not W, like you see in a lot of cases.
Trying to get that burst out of that last hit when you stun someone. 5 minutes in, so we've definitely broken the 1 minute 47 we saw between NA and our last matchup, Chowie Mistake. So we'll see 32 to 37. We mentioning the CS is still up, so OGN taking it slow, and they've even left the lane here.
We see Madlife, he's just gone back to get himself a Fortitude pot, so he's got the red pot ready and waiting to go. And actually, you know, obviously they're waiting for the summoner spells. I don't think anyone's going to go all in until all those summoner spells back up, but they're all going to come back at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's not a great deal of an advantage right now. Red pot has been used by Prey, though.
I kind of feel like if Wei Xiao hits 6 first, he'd want to go in early to try to get the second kill, because this minion kill advantage is kind of holding pretty strong for the OGN champions 2v2 lane. So despite being down that kill, like if they could just draw this one out past level 6 and beyond, they'd be in pretty good shape. They're almost halfway there to the 100.
I wonder if they're just going to purposely delay this one, or they're just going to go all in. We do see Madlife getting the stun down. Prey go aggressive on Wei Xiao, not going to be enough to back that up. And actually, the summoner spells have all just popped back up, so they're going to all have barrier backup.
Xiao Xiao using these red pots pretty much every time he can to get the damage down. It's not a safety thing.
Yeah, it's almost looking like at this point, unless LPL gets another kill, they're going to lose this one, because the amount of poke that was coming down from Prey just in that last bit showed kind of how strong they were. It forced Wei Xiao back to the lane, gave up even more minion kills. They're down like 12 now.
And we should point out, these turrets are not that strong.
No, they
will
back real
go down
fast.
quick.
Jet, you say they're going to be stronger. OGN, you have the support still from Xiao Xiao. You don't have the burst you're going to get from either Kennen or Ez. So as it gets longer, they get in more trouble.
Yeah, I wonder who's level 6 is actually stronger. Do you want the Ezreal ultimate or the Lulu ultimate?
Right.
I think since OGN's already down a kill, the Lulu ultimate would actually help them a bit more. But if they're trying to get both of them, I actually don't know.
I think it's clear that is what's going to happen. As soon as these both hit 6, which is not too far away now. We're both
they're halfway there.
We're going to see some crazy Kennen ultis, double ultis on top of each other.
See, we are approaching 7 minutes. That CS still about 9 in the favor of OGN. We'll see if they can do it. 1 kill, you got to remember, in the favor of LPL here.
You can see LPL is trying to figure out what they're going to do here, because it started off so well when they cornered Mad Life. They're saying, we got this, guys. Let's just kill him again. What if they don't let us kill him, guys? I don't know.
And they actually both have very good escapes as well. Obviously, both can Arcane Shift. You know, the Kennen can lightning surge away. He has got the second Doran's Blade on there now, and a longsword, so the advantage very much in favor of Prey if they go all in aggression. And of course, they now have both hit level 6, or all 4 of them hit level 6, I should say. Look at this, OGN are purposely holding the lane here. They don't want to go too deep on the turret.
And you have to think how much you start to sweat, how reactive you have to play when that opposing team gets towards 100 CS. It's got to be tighter and tighter now for LPL.
It's almost going to force them to fight, which could be really bad running into an Ezreal. But this might be it.
There's a double lightning surge. He's going to go for it. They're both going to pull their ultimates down. Prey does get stunned up, but they're on the turret. They're going to turn around. Don't forget he's got his ultimate left here. He can go back all in, but he doesn't. They choose to back away. Summoner spells. What was used? Let's have a look. We can see that actually Xiao Xiao didn't use anything there, but Prey still has that ignite ready.
The thing is, Xiao Xiao's totally defensive on Lulu, so as far as actually getting aggressive, it's just Wei Xiao being able to get in that. And you can see right from the get-go, OGN's strat there was just to disengage entirely.
And look at the pots. A double pots just used by Mad Life there. Red and a blue pot. They're looking to go straight in all aggression. Vampiric Scepter also being picked up by Prey. Definitely it's OGN with the advantage, despite the fact they're 1 kill down.
Yeah, or they're just looking at the double pots.
Yes!
I feel like they're looking just to freeze the lane with this.
And I feel like Rivington, this is your champion.
Oh my god, I love doing
this.
that. I absolutely love auto-attacking like that. You just click it each minute, back and forth. It's fun.
And they're holding LPL, so what have they done? They backed off.
They're saying, you better come up here and fight us. That's what they're saying right now.
Triple Dorans and double pot.
Oh my gosh.
Double pot's being consumed by Wei Xiao. He's going to have to go on the turret here. I mean, there's only 20 CS left. It's just a couple more waves. He's been stunned up here. They may go turn around for this one. There's going to be Prey. Throws out the ultimate. Only catches on Xiao Xiao, though. Wei Xiao very low. Surely they're going to go aggressive. No.
No. I mean, LPL has to basically turret dive with how short this lane is in this case. And there's 6 minions a wave to 7 every 30 seconds. So 3 more waves as long as OGN can farm this, and this is over. So within the next minute and a half, unless LPL fights them, they're going to lose to the CS.
OGN has to know that there's a saving grace. The Lulu Ultimate Wild Growth is going to stop them from getting a kill. They are heading for this 16 CS right now.
And they're playing it smart, honestly. I mean, while it's not exciting to watch, it's not great to see sometimes. If they go for the CS, there's no reason why not. They went 1-0 down so early on, so I can't really blame them. And Wei Xiao and Xiao Xiao, they have to realize the pressure they're under. They're 10 CS down. They could put a lot of damage on this turret, though, and OGN are going to be forced to fight. Look at that. They chunked it down a 3rd health already.
Prey's not missing any of those.
No.
Yeah. They'd have 2 more waves to be able to get that done, but they'd lose during the 2nd wave. Because as long as they're getting all these minion kills, if they're 89, if they clear this whole wave, they're going to be at 95. But let's see if they can get denied any minions.
So Xiao Xiao trying to put some damage down. They're poking 8 more minions for OGN. We'll lock down this 2v2 matchup.
This is suspenseful.
There's only 3 minions here. They're going to get half the turret down at least here. Actually use the arcane, so go full-on aggression there. True Shot Barrage does wipe it out. 6 CS. That's all they need. It's the next wave. The next wave will get it.
And it's a cannon wave, too. They're trying to get the turret. They have to go now.
They go for 1 kill. Mad Life side, and they get the slicing maelstrom down to Wei Xiao. Wei Xiao gets out alive. The caster minions might kill him. Oh, the health bot saves him, but they're so low.
It doesn't matter, though, because Prey's back. He's going to pick up the kill. He's going to get the CS there. It's 6 CS. There's absolutely nothing they can do about this one. Wei Xiao sent packing, and the CS is all going to go. It's going to be Prey. Surely they'll pick it up. There's only 3 there. There's only 3. He missed the CS. 1 CS is all they require. They're going to have to come rushing back to the
turret.
He's only got 11 seconds. I think they're going to get the turret and win it.
They could get the turret.
What you going for?
He's going for the turret.
Almost had the turret. They find it. OGN takes this one.
11-minute game. I didn't think we'd get to that stretch, but wow. They sat that one out. That was actually precision play there by the OGN champions All-Stars, as you would expect. Prey and Mad Life there delayed it down so much. And, you know, losing that one kill early on, they thought Mad Life maybe made the mistake, and we thought maybe the home favorites were going to take it. But no, clever play and really, you know, deliberate play as well. They thought, okay, guys, it's okay. We're going to get Prey fed, and he's going to win it for us.
We actually had to consider there, we weren't looking at it very much, but Wei Zhao and Zhao Zhao had OGN's turret down to about 25% health when Mad Life went all in on that.
Well, that was the reason Mad Life was forced to go all in. And I think that's also why he went with the double elixirs near the end of that game, because he wanted to have as much power as possible if any kind of game-changing play was going to do. He'd mathed it out, realized the minion kill cap is going to get reached before these pots expire, might as well buy him now.
But it does mean that North America are already in a final and is going to be against South Korea's OGN champions All-Stars. And well, what a final. Double Lift Deck Special versus Prey and Mad Life. That's going to be good, but that is on Sunday. That's not today.
Is it going to be 2 minutes? Or 11.
Or is it 11? I got a feeling that Double Lift and X Special are not going to quite be so patient.
But not after that first one. They were pretty much the only ones that went regular support AD carry.
Varus was available. Nobody went for it. That surprised me.
That too.
And I mean, I don't think it was necessarily LPL's patience that hurt them there. It's the fact that OGN was just playing so defensively. So I have to see what happens.
Well, they let him get fed. You know what? If you let the AD carry get fed on the champion that he's pretty much famous for, what do you expect?
Absolutely.
I love it.
All right, coming up is the Junglers' turn to test their skills in the semifinals of their 1v1 competition. The 2013 League of Legends All-Star Weekend will return right after this.